Alarming news on the coronavirus. Georgia breaking a record for new COVID-19 cases in a single day. And today, the Department of Public Health reported nearly 5,000 new cases. That is now the largest number of cases in a single day since the pandemic began. The last time we saw numbers anywhere close to this was in late July. Testing was also up, but not in record-breaking numbers. As cases rise, so do hospitalizations. 212 more people are in the hospital compared to yesterday. That brings the total to 2,300 active patients. Hospitalizations are up 31% over the past 2 weeks, but they are still below the worst days in April. Now, this comes as the CDC announces it is now calling for universal face mask use, except for those inside your home. Brittany Kleinpeter explains the updated guidelines from the CDC.
The CDC is now urging Americans to wear masks anytime they leave their home. This follows a record-breaking day for COVID-19 hospitalizations in the U.S., with the country reporting more than 100,000. In the updated guidance, health officials are asking Americans to wear masks outside when social distancing just isn't possible. Meanwhile, Joe Biden says one of his first acts as president will be a 100-day mask policy. The president-elect said it will happen on his inauguration day, January 20th.
I'm going to ask the public for 100 days to mask. Just 100 days to mask. Not forever, 100 days.
While the Trump administration has not mandated masks, the president has stressed the development of a vaccine to fight the virus. On Friday, Vice President Mike Pence visited CDC headquarters in Atlanta, revealing that Americans could get the vaccine as soon as December 16th. Long-term care residents and healthcare workers are expected to get it first. Wider distribution isn't anticipated until the spring. Here in Georgia, the state broke a record today for new COVID-19 cases in a single day, nearly 5,000. More than 2,300 people are currently hospitalized for COVID-19 in Georgia.